Have you ever started dating someone from a different culture other than your own? Have you ever accidentally made an overgeneralization about a group of people and their culture? Well, I have, and unfortunately made some embarrassing mistakes in assuming my girlfriend's culture and her family's culture upon the first time meeting them. However, instead of parting ways due to our differences and my lack of understanding, we have remained together, and in doing so, I have gained a much deeper understanding of her culture. This is the foundation of intercultural praxis, in which people from different cultures interact, and how to overcome cultural differences with one another. And let me tell you, for one, her and I have had many differences that we've had to overcome these past years. As a white male born in the South, Tallahassee, Florida to be exact, I've never dated anyone that wasn't from my own town or someone that was similar to me. That's not to say I'm not cultured. I've traveled to many countries and I've had many friends from different backgrounds, locations, religions, and cultures. However, none of that has prepared me for dating a Spanish girl. On our first date, I made a huge blunder when I found out she was from Puerto Rico. I mentioned, "Oh, cool, I've been to Costa Rica," thinking that they were somehow nearby or part of the same island or it all related. She must have been used to people not knowing much about her home or culture because she let that slide. Shortly after, I met some of her family, which then I made another big generalization. When her aunt asked if I liked my girlfriend's cooking, her aunt's really big on cooking, I said, "Yeah, I do. However, I really like more normal Spanish food, and I can't wait to try yours because I really like spicy food." She set me straight immediately and said, "Puerto Ricans do not eat hot, spicy food like that. You're thinking of Mexican or some other Hispanic cuisine." Immediately, I felt like I shot myself in the foot again and was coming off as El Gringo due to my lack of knowledge about their culture, history, cuisine, or language. Intercultural praxis has played a major part in my relationship with my girlfriend and her family and culture. There being a language barrier with some of her family, especially her grandma, led me to feeling distance from them. During my first New Year's party with her family, I became more aware of this, as many times when they were singing or telling stories or just general conversation, it would switch between English to Spanish to Spanglish and back to English and Spanish. And what that led to was me staying closer to my girlfriend or to her cousins who were younger and would just speak English to me. While I was used to language barriers before while traveling, it wasn't the same since I really wanted to connect and be a part of her family. Even after the party and I left, her dad asked me to learn Spanish to really be a part of the family. What was disappointing to me was that I had taken Spanish in high school and even some in college, yet I never tried hard enough to actually use the language. Even for the majority of our relationship, I never took that next step to open my mind and boundaries so that I could be more a part of her culture. However, instead of just expecting everyone to speak English to me, I've began learning Spanish again and am so grateful for this as it has opened my mind and as well intertwined our cultures even more. What intercultural praxis gives us is the framework by which we can analyze these interactions and choose how we go forward. By me wanting to be more a part of her culture, I in turn have been exposed to so much that I would not have been had I not opened myself up to the idea. Now, this probably sounds all one-sided, as if I didn't offer anything cultural for her, and that's not the case either. I introduced her to many foods. She came to our very traditional Thanksgiving and Christmas, and just general lifestyle differences that she experienced while living together. At first, these differences sometimes clashed as we became more aware of them, like her somewhat obsessive nature of unplugging and turning off everything in the house. Apparently, that's something Puerto Ricans do because of the power cost. But through intercultural praxis, we were able to increase our critical analysis of how we were just culturally different and how to react in a responsible way which accommodated ourselves into each other's lives. Honestly, I'm so happy to be dating someone from a different background and culture other than myself. In doing so, we have been practicing intercultural praxis this whole time, always learning new things about one another's culture and background and realizing the strengths that each bring to this relationship.